They wouldn't let him speak. John Boste, a Catholic priest condemned for treason, stood on the scaffold in Durham. As he tried to address the crowd, the guards silenced him. So instead he turned to Latin, praying Psalm 116, which translates to, "Return, O my soul, into thy rest." On this day in Tudor history, the 24th of July 1594, this quiet, determined Catholic priest met one of the most brutal ends imaginable: hanged, drawn and quartered in Durham. His crime? Simply doing his job as a priest. Hi, I'm Claire Ridgway, author, historian and founder of the Anne Boleyn Files, and today I'm introducing you to Catholic martyr John Boste. Boste was born in 1544, the youngest son of Nicholas Boste of Welling Manor in Dufton, Westmoreland, and his wife Janet Hutton. A gifted student, Boste studied at Queen's College, Oxford, earning his BA in 1568 and an MA in 1572. He became a fellow that same year and then returned north to teach at Appleby Grammar School. But in 1576, Boste made a life-changing and ultimately deadly decision. He converted to Roman Catholicism. According to the spy Anthony Atkinson, Boste was likely converted at the Suffolk home of Sir Thomas Cornwallis, and shortly afterwards he was expelled from his fellowship at Oxford. He went abroad to the Low Countries in 1580 and later travelled to the English College at Reims, a known centre for Catholic missionary training. In March 1581 he was ordained as a priest. Soon after, Boste returned to England, landing at Hartlepool in the north, where he began his secret ministry. He quickly became one of the most sought-after priests in the north, working under constant threat. By 1590 he was reported to be kept very secretly, moving from one safe house to another. His luck ran out in September 1593 when he was betrayed by Francis Ecclesfield and arrested while saying mass at Waterhouses, County Durham. Present were Lady Margaret Neville and Mrs. Claxton, the lady of the house. All were taken to Brancepeth Castle for interrogation. Despite pressure to name others, Boste refused. He told his captors he could not, in good conscience, accuse anyone. In October 1593, Boste was transferred south to Windsor, where he was racked by Richard Topcliffe, Elizabeth I's infamous interrogator. Despite the horrific torture, Boste gave up no names. One record noted that they had never heard a more resolute traitor. He insisted that he loved the Queen and would even support her if the Pope sent an army against her, unless, he said, the Pope moved against her as a heretic by rightful Catholic authority. Then Catholics must obey the Church. That statement, of course, was enough to condemn him. Although his examiners wanted him moved to the Tower of London, Boste was instead returned to Durham, where he was tried on the 24th of July 1594 alongside fellow priest John Ingram. Their charge? Treason, for leaving and re-entering England without permission. When sentenced to death, the two priests sang joyfully, Boste singing Te Deum Laudamus and Ingram answering Te Aeternam Patrem. That very afternoon, Boste was taken in a cart through the streets of Durham. He blessed people along the way. An eyewitness to his execution, Christopher Robinson, recorded that Boste tried to give a final speech, but was cut off. He told the crowd, "I hope in God that if you will not suffer me to speak unto you in this world, this my death will speak in your hearts that which I would have spoken." When denied the chance to speak in English, Boste turned to Latin and began praying Psalm 116. "Return, O my soul, into thy rest, because God hath done well unto thee, because he hath delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from falling." He even explained briefly that the death he was referring to was not bodily death, but the sting of heresy as he saw it. He was silenced once again. And then came the horrific part. Boste was hanged, but cut down while still alive, then disemboweled, his limbs hacked, his organs burnt, and finally he was beheaded and quartered. A gruesome public punishment meant to deter others from following the same path. Mrs. Claxton, the woman who'd harboured him, was condemned to death as well, but thanks to powerful friends, she was eventually reprieved and pardoned. John Boste was canonised in 1970 by Pope Paul VI as one of the 40 martyrs of England and Wales. This wasn't just a story of martyrdom, it's a story about conviction, faith, and the deadly price of loyalty in a divided England. Whether one sees him as a traitor or a saint, John Boste's unwavering courage in the face of brutality is truly something to remember. If you found this story moving or thought-provoking, do give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back soon with more stories from the darker corners of Tudor history. Thank you for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.